Aska from Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Sheikh, how should I regard an Islamic advice that comes from a quote from a book of knowledge that I have not knowledge of its authenticity? For example, I sat down in a majlis in a masjid where the Sheikh took quotes from a book of tafsir that I wasn't aware of. I didn't know if I should fully trust the words spoken by this da'i because I'm not proficient in tafsir.
A layman must not follow except his own sheikh. So we have hundreds of da'is, scholars, sheikhs, and one says right, the other says left, and the third one says either way, and the fourth one say, well, it's everywhere, and the fifth one says, well, you have to ask your heart, and whatever your heart tells you, you have to follow. I am confused. I'm totally confused. Who should I follow? This is why a layman, someone who's not well articulate, not well educated, someone who does not know how to differentiate between this or that, between wrong and right, must follow his sheikh. He must look for one individual whom he trusts his knowledge, he trusts his religious practice, he trusts his consistency. The other scholars praised him and said, well, for the past X number of years, the guy was consistent, he follows the Quran and the Sunnah. Someone is known, not necessarily someone who's famous on Instagram or on TikTok. I get a lot of people coming and asking me about a particular individual, Tom, Dick, or Harry. And they say, what do you think of the Sheikh? I said, who's the Sheikh? I said, well, I don't know. He comes, he has like 5-10 seconds clip, and all what he says, oh, Sheikh, what do you think of Sheikh so-and-so? And he says, oh, no, Sheikh so-and-so is not credible. Sheikh so-and-so is this, Sheikh so-and-so, and he discredits all scholars and all da'is and all students of knowledge. So I said, okay, but who is he? He said, no, I don't know. Okay, what is he? He's no one. So I said, how dare you go to someone who is no one and listen to him? Likewise, Aska, you cannot go to a masjid and listen to someone you don't know. You don't have any knowledge of his religious commitment, of his etiquette, of his akhlaq, of his piety, and learn from him, only to discover after a year or two that he sits in Indonesia, for example, with other scholars holding the guitar and singing. Duh. Last week you were preaching us in tafsir. Now you're singing using a guitar. Maybe you'll go to Indonesia, got talent. You never know. You must follow those whom we are ordered to take religion from. Like Ibn Sirin said, may Allah have mercy on his soul. This knowledge is religion. So know who you're taking your religion from.